Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan sends greets to His Excellency President of the Islamic Republic of Iran on the occasion of his country's National Day. And the Israeli occupation forces continue their aggression on the Gaza Strip and kill 28 Palestinians in Rafah. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency Dr. Ibrahim Raisi, President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, on his country's National Day. His Majesty the Sultan also sent a cable of greetings to His Holiness Pope Francis, Pope of the Vatican, on the occasion of the National Day of the Vatican State. Israeli airstrikes killed at least 28 Palestinians in Rafah today, hours after Israel's prime minister said he asked the military to plan for the evacuation of hundreds of thousands of people from the southern Gaza city ahead of a ground invasion. According to a health official and Associated Press journalist who saw the bodies arriving at hospitals, 3 airstrikes on homes in the Rafah area killed 28 people. They said each strike killed multiple members of 3 families, including a total of 10 children, the youngest 3 months old. Meanwhile, a spokesman for the Gaza Health Ministry said that in Khan Yunis, the focus of the current ground combat, Israeli forces opened fire at Nasser Hospital, the area's largest, killing at least 1 person and wounding several. He said medical staff are no longer able to move between the facility's buildings because of the intense fire, adding that 300 medical personnel, 450 patients, and 10,000 displaced people are sheltering in the hospital. A Russian drone strike in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city, killed at least 7 people overnight, including 3 children. The attack caused a massive fire that burned down 15 private houses. Ukraine's interior minister said more than 50 people had been evacuated and that emergency workers had contained the blaze by today morning. The Ukrainian Air Force said air defense systems destroyed 23 out of 31 drones launched by Russia overnight. The drones primarily targeted the northeastern Kharkiv region and the southern province of Odessa. The total domestic production and import of natural gas in the Sultanate of Oman increased by the end of the last December by 3.6% to reach 53.9 billion cubic meters. The National Center for Statistics and Information showed that industrial projects occupied 58.7% of natural gas uses, followed by oil fields and power generation stations. Meanwhile, non-associated production of natural gas, including imports, amounted to 42.9 billion cubic meters, while the associated production amounted to 10.9 billion cubic meters. The IFCA group announced investment in the American semiconductor company after an investment tour of the company through which it sought to expand the Sultanate of Oman by opening a technological center for designing semiconductors in Muscat, as well as Oman 1 and Oman 2 chips. These chips are 100% designed by Omani engineers. The Oman 1 chip will be working on receiving radio waves and identify them. Meanwhile, the Oman 2 is considered a power management integrated circuit chip. The energy and communications companies enlisted in the Muscat Stock Exchange recorded new gains that pushed the services sector index to rise by 2.2% during last week, while the shares of banks, financial and industrial companies declined, which pushed the main index of the stock market and other sector indices to decline. During last week, the services sector index rose by 35 points and closed at 1,627 points, recording the only increase among stock market indices. Meanwhile, the main index fell by 16 points and closed at 4,546 points, and the financial sector index recorded the highest declines, losing 144 points. The industrial sector index declined by 42 points, and the Sharia index recorded a decline by 3 points. The total assets of the Islamic banks and outlets increased by the end of the last November by 11.7% to reach about 7.2 billion Omani riyals, which is 17.2% of the total assets of the banking sector in the Sultanate of Oman. The total balance of financing granted by units practicing Islamic banking also recorded an increase of 11.7% to reach approximately 5.9 billion Omani riyals. Deposits at Islamic banks and the outlets also recorded an increase of 10.9%, reaching about 5.4 billion Omani riyals by the end of November 2023. Still to come in our news bulletin. A painter from southwest China embarks on a mission to promote local panda culture through captivating graffiti. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Sultanate of Oman marks the annual Day of Omani Influential Personalities, which falls on the 10th of February each year. These personalities are also enlisted in the UNESCO. The celebration of this day comes within the framework to shed light on the Omani influential personalities on both the local and global levels, in addition to enriching the public knowledge about the scientific aspects, as well as the first significant historical Omani event, which is the anniversary of 350 years since the establishment of Jibreen Castle. The Sultanate of Oman has succeeded in including 7 Omani figures and 1 historical event in the UNESCO program for important historical events and globally influential personalities, namely the linguist Al-Khalil bin Ahmed Al-Farahidi in 2005, the doctor and pharmacist Rashid bin Umaira Al-Hashimi Al-Rustaqi in 2013, and in 2015 the polymath and reformer Sheikh Nuruddin Al-Salmi, doctor and physicist Abu Muhammad Abdullah bin Muhammad Al-Azdi, nicknamed Ibn Al-Dhahabi, and poet Nasir bin Salim Al-Rawahi, nicknamed Abu Musallam Al-Bahlani, were included in 2019. The Omani navigator Ahmed bin Majid Al-Sa'di was included in the 2021. The Sultanate of Oman was also able to include the 150th anniversary of the death of the historian and literary poet Hamid bin Muhammad bin Razaiq. In the Wilaya of Sahar, in North Al-Batina Governorate, a celebration was held on the occasion of Al-Isra wal-Ma'raj anniversary. The celebration included acting performances, poetry readings, and the display of various art pieces with the aim of consolidating the values of faith in the hearts of the attendees. The celebration was held under the patronage of His Excellency Mohammed bin Sulaiman Al-Kindi, Governor of North Al-Batina. Al-Buremi Hackathon competition for scientific innovation, organized by the Governor's Office in cooperation with various public and private institutions, revealed 12 innovations in various fields. The competition aims to find innovative solutions for various issues in the Governorate through the fields of technology and artificial intelligence. The 2-day hackathon worked to transform the innovative ideas into suitable projects. 12 innovations out of 31 were qualified after they were evaluated based on creativity, clarity of the idea, the feasibility of implementation, and other standards. The project, which ranks first, will later represent the Governorate during Oman Festival for Innovation on the national level. Regarding the latest weather condition updates, here is the warning number 1 on heavy rains as follows. due to heavy rains associated with gusty winds and hail that are expected over Muscat, North and South Al-Batina, Al-Dakhiliya, Al-Bremi, Al-Zahira, and Muscat governorates. The Civil Aviation Authority advises all to take precautions during rainfall and flash floods and to check visibility and sea state before sailing and follow the issued weather bulletins. Heavy rain and hailstones ranging between 30 to 60 millimeters will lead to the flow of wadis, gusty winds with a speed ranging between 15 to 35 knots, 28 to 64 kilometers per hour. Wave height over the coast of Muscat and Sea of Oman will be 3 to 1.5 meters. Horizontal vision will be low during the thunderstorms. A painter from Yan City in southwest China embarks on a mission to promote local panda culture through captivating street art resembling graffiti. Here is a report.
A 34-year-old painter from Yan City in southwest China has embarked on a mission to promote local panda culture through captivating street art resembling graffiti. Jiang Ya, a talented artist, has gained recognition for her adorable giant panda paintings adorning roadside pillars, street corners, steps, and abandoned wooden stakes. After completing her studies in oil painting, Jiang returned to her hometown in 2019 and ventured into the cultural tourism industry. 3 years ago, during her leisure time, she painted a panda on the corner of a wall, which unexpectedly received many praises from local residents. This positive response inspired her to pursue a career as a graffiti artist. Jiang's company, Yan Cultural and Tourism Group, supports her work wholeheartedly and assigned over 20 graffiti art projects to her. Thus, more and more giant panda images have begun to show up on the streets of the city. The artist says she will continue to promote the culture of the giant panda, showcasing their image to a wider audience in a more entertaining and more lovely way, adding more vibrant colors to the city. Jiang feels that her work is very meaningful because she can turn the panda culture in her hometown into graffiti that can be enjoyed by all.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan sends greets to His Excellency President of the Islamic Republic of Iran on the occasion of his country's National Day. And the Israeli occupation forces continue their aggression on Gaza Strip and kill 28 Palestinians in Rafah. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night, and we hope you've enjoyed your weekend.